James Weldon Johnson from God's Trombones, Go Down Death, an old Negro funeral sermon. Weep not, weep not, she's not dead. She's resting in the bosom of Jesus. Heartbroken husband, weep no more. Grief-stricken son, weep no more. Left lonesome daughter, weep no more. She's only just gone home. Day before yesterday morning, God was looking down from his great high heaven, looking down on all his children. And his eyes fell upon Sister Caroline tossing on her bed of pain, and God's big heart was touched with pity, touched with that everlasting pity. And God sat back on his throne and he commanded that tall, bright angel standing on his right hand, call me death. And that tall, bright angel cried in a voice that broke like a clap of thunder, call death, call death. And the echoes sounded down the streets of heaven till it reached the way back to that shadowy place where death waits with his pale white horses. Death heard the summons and he leaped on his fastest horse, pale as a sheep in the moonlight. Up the golden streets, Death gallops, and the hoofs from his horse struck fire from the gold, but they made no sound. On Death rode to the great white throne and waited for God's command. And God says, go down, Death, go down. To Savannah, Georgia, down in Yamacrawl, and find Sister Caroline. She's tossing on her bed of pain, and she's wearied long in my vineyard, and she's tired, she's weary. Go down, Death, and bring her to me. Death didn't say a word, but he loosed the reins from his pale white horse, and he clapped the spurs to his bloodless sides, and out and down Death rode past heaven's pearly gates, past suns and moons and stars. On Death rode, and the foam from his horse was like a comet in the sky. On Death rode, leaving the lightning flash behind. Straight on down he came. And while we were watching round her bedside, she turned her head and she looked away, and she saw what we couldn't see. She saw old Death. She saw old Death come like a falling star, but Death didn't frighten Sister Caroline. He took to her like a welcome friend, and she whispered to us, I'm going home. She smiled and closed her eyes, and Death took her up in his arms like a baby, and there she lay in his icy arm, but Caroline didn't feel no chill, and up and out Death began to ride again, up beyond the evening star, out beyond the morning star, into the glittering light of glory, onto the great white throne. And there he lay, Sister Caroline, on the loving breast of Jesus. And Jesus took his hand, his own hand, and he wiped the tears from her eyes and smoothed the furrows on her face. And the angel sang a song, and Jesus kept a rocking her in his arms and a saying, take your rest, take your rest, take your rest. Weep not, weep not. She's not dead. She's resting in the bosom of Jesus. Go down, death. James Weldon Johnson, God's trombones.